First, whenever I give advice, it is from a place of learning myself. Second, it is what works for me and it won't necessarily work for you. But today let's talk about avoiding the rushed ending. The rushed ending is when you end a book and the reader feels like it wasn't, either it was resolved or it was resolved too quickly, or it was just anticlimactic. They're not satisfied with that ending. And maybe neither are you. So here's just a few ways to avoid it. One, if you've taken 300 to 400 pages to build a conflict and you resolve it in 10 or 20, that's an unbalanced ending, okay? That is going to feel rushed and anticlimactic to the reader. Two, it can be really helpful to just kind of have this idea, not a rule, but an idea in your head that about 2/3 of the way through the book, you should start seeing foreshadowing of the resolution. The reader doesn't have to know what it is. I'm not saying spell it out for the reader. I'm saying that when the reader looks back at the book, they believe in whatever your ending is, whether it is a solving a mystery, a resolved romance, whatever that ending is supposed to be, that the reader sees it in the last third of the book, can look back and see it, right? Isn't necessarily seeing it as you're writing it. Speaking of planting the seeds, I write alpha anti-heroes. So what I say I do is that from the very beginning of the book, I plant the seeds of this anti-hero being the actual hero to the heroine. He may never be a hero to the rest of society, but he will be the one guy. She is the one person that he will die for, kill for, whatever for. And you're going to see that in some way at the beginning of the book. It doesn't even have to be related to her. You can just show his loyalty to someone else, however you want to do it. But you're planting from somewhere in the beginning of the book the seeds of the knowledge that this person, whoever that person is going to resolve their conflict at the end of the book. And another way you can avoid a rushed ending is to give your reader a taste of the resolution, whatever the resolution is, whether you have resolved a mystery or the two protagonists in a romance have come together, or the many protagonists in a romance have come together. You give your reader a taste, not just an epilogue, but in the book, you give them a taste of what that together looks like. You give them a taste of what love in normal life looks like for them. It doesn't have to be super long. It can be a short scene. It can be a long scene. It doesn't matter. It's not just sex. Although readers, I know they love their spicy romance. I love my spice. But it has to be more than that, because we've already had that in the book. We need to see that in normal life, these characters fit together and are going to be together. So avoiding a rushed ending takes some thought and some planning. And sometimes it just takes revision. You write the whole manuscript and then you go back and you make sure that those elements exist, so that at the end of the book, the reader feels like they read a really well-written story, a story that feels resolved to them. And one last thing. If you cannot wait to finish the book, if you are bored out of your mind with your characters, chances are you're going to rush the ending. And I've been there with my books. And you know what I do? I wait a little bit and I go back to the ending. Even after maybe I've gotten revision notes from my editor, I will still return to the ending and I will revise the ending. Sometimes add a scene, sometimes just add a whole bunch of stuff in the last 3 scenes, whatever. But take time to go back to it when you're not just wanting to be done. So good luck resolving that rushed ending, and happy writing.